What's up, family? Give it a couple minutes. I'm gonna let some people get in here. Today we're gonna talk about residential real estate versus commercial real estate. I'm gonna kind of go over why I prefer commercial over residential, and I might tie in some business credit and business funding things with it too. But I know I go late. I know I go live late. This is the best time. This one I get free. So, what's up, Jeff? This one I get free. So I do my lives when I can, and I save them. Y'all can look at them whenever y'all want to. Save them, send them, like them. But yeah, so we're gonna go over business credit. We're gonna go over real estate and commercial, residential and commercial real estate. And I'm gonna throw some wholesaling in there too, because everybody want to do wholesaling. And I'm gonna see a couple minutes, see if some more people come in here. What's up, Jeff? Don't use that. I don't know, none of these little settings on here. I'm gonna mess with these settings. All right, so let me move this. Move that. Nope. All right. So residential real estate. If you're trying to invest in residential real estate, they got a whole bunch of different options out there. The main ones is going to be buy and hold, which is you becoming a landlord. You buy a property. You can buy a single family house, which is one family living in it, or multifamily, which is multiple families living in the house. You can buy that. You can get a trailer, or you can even buy a trailer park. That would be commercial, but you can get a trailer. Let's see what else you can get. Anything 1 to 4 units is considered single family. So you can get a 4-unit apartment building and it's still residential. I think I said that right. But yeah, you can get a 1 unit to a 4 unit and it still be residential. You can even get a 4 unit with a store in it at the bottom or at the top or whatever, or a store connected to the side of the building, and it's still considered residential. So when you do something like that, there's a whole bunch of different benefits to it. One of them would be that you can live in one of those units and get it. If you don't already own a house, you can buy it for 3.5% down. You can utilize an FHA loan to get into one of those apartment units. So when you do that, you get in that 1 unit. You gotta have those other 3. I always say get a 4 unit. The more doors, the better. And if you can get in at a 4 unit with 3.5% down, you can't really beat that. You're gonna live in one of those units, and you're gonna have other 3 rented out. And another thing I always say too is get property that already have tenants in it. You don't want to get something that you got to go and find the tenants, and you don't know if you're going to have money coming in. You want to buy something that already has the tenants in there, already has 2 tenants, at least 2, or if it's a 4 unit, try to have 3 in there, but at least 2. And the reason why I say that is because you're buying an existing business. If the owner has been taking care of their business, they're going to have paperwork showing that property has already been making money. So when you get it, it's not like I don't know if I'm gonna make money off of this. You're getting it, and you'll have the paperwork that show that you will make money off of it. It's guaranteed. It's been making money for the last 12 months at least. He's been filing his tax returns. Some of the deals that you're gonna get, some of the best deals might not have those tax returns, but that's the risk that you're gonna take whenever you're trying to get those residential properties. So you can get those 4 units, like I said, and you're gonna live in one and rent the other 3 out. So those other 3, one of them's gonna pay for your mortgage more than likely. The other 2 are most of the time gonna be profit. Or one of them's gonna pay for that mortgage. One of them might pay for expenses 1 month. The other unit's gonna be profit. Pretty much, you're gonna be living there for free as long as you have to live there. You're gonna be there for free. So. And with the store attached, the store is just other income for you. If you can lease the store out to somebody and have somebody else running the store and they just pay you monthly rent, or you can actually operate the store and have this 4 unit, this 3 units paying you rent right here while you live for free, and also be using your store to get more income as well. You can turn that into like a wash and terry or something like that on the side. There's all kind of ways to get more income and something like that. And residential real estate is going to be based off of the comps in the area. So when you looking at the comps, when you're trying to value that residential real estate, let's say you got a single family house, it's going to be worth what they have, the other houses that's similar to it on the side or around it in the same neighborhood. Usually they say within half a mile. When I'm looking at something, I always go to the same neighborhood, because in one neighborhood, in the neighborhood that you in, the houses might be worth 250, but 10 houses down in a different neighborhood, they might be worth 300, 350. But you don't want to be looking at houses in another neighborhood, because your house might not be worth that same amount. You want to go off of the houses in that same neighborhood. You might not know, if you're not familiar with that area, that other neighborhood might be brand new houses, and that house that you're looking at in this neighborhood is those houses like 50 years old. They might be newer looking because they've been renovating them, but they're still 50 years old compared to these brand new houses. It might not be worth the same, So I always go with the houses in the same neighborhood, and just for that reason, I want to make sure my numbers is 100% accurate, because I wholesale a lot of these houses. We're looking to wholesale single family properties, so whenever I'm finding a property that I don't want to purchase and I want to sell it to somebody else instead, I want to make sure that number's right, because whenever I send them a deal, I don't want them to think, hey man, this dude don't know what he's talking about. Either they're going to say, this dude don't know what he's talking about, I'm going to get over on him, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't want to do business with him. And either one of those is not a good look for me. I don't want to have either one of those opinions about me. So I make sure all my numbers is right before I send a deal out. And that's pretty much it about residential. That's all I could think of. So for commercial real estate is what I like. I like the commercial apartments specifically, and I'm gonna tell you why. But when dealing with commercial, there's a whole bunch of other things. With commercial real estate, you got the apartment buildings. There's gonna be 5 units or more. It's considered commercial. You got commercial buildings where they got like businesses in there, like Walmart is a commercial building. Anytime you see these offices, restaurants are commercial buildings. Not multifamily, mobile home parks they're commercial buildings. Fast food restaurants, commercial buildings. Office Max, Office Depot, things like that. Those are all commercial buildings. Those are pretty much strip malls. That's just a term for that. When they have multiple different stores in one area, it's considered sometimes a strip mall. Whenever you're looking to purchase something like that, strip malls and all commercial real estate have these really like niche guidelines, I guess you can say. Like strip malls will have like triple net leases, meaning that the tenants that's in there, it's your property, but they're in charge of paying certain things. Like they're gonna have to, when they fix up that property, it's still your property. So you might have this commercial building that's it might not be worth anything, you might not have any tenants in it, but when you get that person in there, that tenant in there, they're gonna be paying that mortgage for you. They're gonna be paying you that money every month. But they're also going to be fixing the property up and renovating it to suit their needs for their business. And those improvements that they do, that's all benefiting you, because that property is going to be worth more once they leave out of it than while they're in it. Another thing is with triple net leases or with commercial properties like that, is that the lease terms are typically longer. Like you're going to see 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year leases on buildings like that. So for those investors who are investing in something like that, also self-storage units, those like Uncle Bob, or what else they got, like the storage units where people don't have a house to put their stuff in, or they have too much stuff to put in the house. They'll go and buy and invest in or buy a storage unit and put all their stuff in there until they have enough space, or until they move, or if they for whatever reason. So those are also commercial properties. They're commercial real estate. But with the triple nets, those are definitely a good plays for long-term tenants, especially if you can get like a CVS or something like that. Those people usually got long-term leases, and they're not paying a little bit of money. On those leases like that, they're paying $3,000, $5,000 a month, for 10 months, and they're signing that lease, so you got consistent income for that amount of time. And the CVS, they're not about to run out of money most of the time, so you're not gonna have to chase them down for that income. Another one I like the most is the multifamily, the commercial apartments, 5 units or more. I typically want to do more doors because I want to have more people paying me rent every month. And because you have more doors, let's think about this. If you got a 4 unit and one person leaves and you're not living in it, and you just have the whole 4 unit rented out, one person leaves, 25% of your income's gone. If you got a single family house and you got a mortgage on it, because most of the time you might buy the property cash, but then you're going to refinance it. So when you refinance it, now you got a mortgage. If that tenant leave out of there, 100% of your income's gone, and you got to cover that mortgage now. So, and you don't know if you're going to get new tenants in there sometime. So you're going to have to pay that mortgage. You got to, that's just some things that I think about. Some things I don't like about it. It's probably not big deals, but it's just what I don't like. There's a ton of people out there that's making a lot of money with residential properties. I just prefer the commercial. That's just what I like. So with the apartments, let's say I get a 100-unit apartment building, only one tenant leaving out of that is 1% of my income going. I still got 99 tenants paying me rent. 99% of my income is still coming in. There's no way possible that building is not going to pay for itself. Let's say you got 90 people in there, or 80, or even 70. I had a friend of mine. He had a 100-unit apartment building, and pretty much 60 or 70 rooms were occupied. Only 30 of them or 40 of them were not occupied. But he was still cash flowing. He was still making about $40,000 a month. He was paying his. Matter of fact, he owned it cash. He paid for it cash, I believe. But if he had a mortgage on it, it was gonna pay that mortgage off definitely. And that's 60% of his income. 40% of it was gone. He was only making 60% of his income for that property, and that mortgage was paid for, and he still was getting thousands of dollars in his pocket. But that's one of the reasons why I like it. And another thing that's most beneficial to me is that you can actually flip commercial apartments and keep them, or really any commercial real estate, I believe. But I say commercial apartments because that's what I like. So, but you can flip these and keep them. And when I say that, I mean this: with commercial real estate, is valued at the income that it brings in. So if you know how to buy commercial real estate, you'll buy a property there where, let's say it's in Houston, rents are always increasing, and the rents right now for that property might be $900 a month. The rents in that area are supposed to be $1,000 or $1,200 or $1,350 or something like that. So when you purchase that property, it's worth, let's say for just round numbers, we're gonna say $500,000. When you bought it, it's worth $500,000, and the reason why is because it don't go on the comps in the area. It goes on the income that it's making. It's gonna go off of the comps as far as what they're bringing in and also what you're bringing in. So when you raise the rents on that, when you get the rents up to where they're supposed to be, or at least higher, your property is now worth more money. So when you purchase it and you go out there and you paint the concrete, or you clean up, pressure wash or something like that, paint the building, fix up some units, and you raise that rent another $100 or $200 or $300 or whatever it is for the brand new tenants. Like if you have rooms that's just not being used right now and you have a brand new tenant coming in, you can charge the premium if your property is fixed up. And then so instead of you getting that $950, or you raise the rent to $1,000 or $1,200, you can put that brand new tenant in at $1,350. But once that property is making more money as a whole, it's worth more money. So you bought it at $500. And let's say it took you 6 months, and then you raise the rents on everything or on most of the building, and that property is now worth $750 or $800 or $950, depending on how big it is and how much money you're bringing in. So you can go and refinance this property. And when I say flip, I mean like you're going to keep it, like refinance it, put all of that capital back in your pocket, because you forced it to make $250,000 to $300,000, $400,000 in equity just by raising the rents, just by putting more people in it and raising the rents, and getting an increase in the property's income. So because of that, you just pretty much flip that property. If I put that much value into it, if I force that much value into it, and I refinance it and pull out $250,000, $300,000 in equity, and I pull that out and put that in my pocket, to me that's a flip. And then I keep the property, and now that I have a brand new mortgage, my property is making more money. It's going to pay that mortgage off from it. So it's just a never-ending cycle. You might buy that property at $500, refi it at $800, $850. You're not going to pull out the whole amount of equity that you have, but you're going to be able to pull out a nice chunk. And the thing is, it's going to pay off that existing mortgage that you have and give you a new one. But the thing is, you only paid the down payment on it. You only paid that 20% or 30%. When you refi, you're going to get all that capital back and then some. So you pretty much have the property for free now, and it's still cash flowing. You have tenants that's paying you monthly, paying your mortgage down, and giving you cash flow every month. So That's the deals that I want to get people into. That's one of the deals that I always explain to people, because they're not understanding, like, you can own this property. You're only putting down 20% or 30%, depending on who you go to. I would say 20, because you want to have good relationships, and we got good relationships to get the funding. So you get the good relationships, you put your 20% down, and then it's a no brainer. You can passively invest in this and still make tons of money. And wholesaling. Wholesaling is something that's real popular nowadays. For what reason? I don't know why. Because wholesaling is a lot of work. You can make a lot of money. You can definitely make a lot of money. It's not for lazy people, though. You're gonna have to put some work in. You can get lucky and get some deals, get 2 or 3 deals. But if you want to have consistent income, you want to have consistent deals, it's gonna take some work. Like, you might have to hire some people. If you don't have a family, you got a lot of free time. You can get it. You can grind it out. But if you got a family, you got to spend time with your family. You can't let your family go to waste because you're trying to, chase the bag all the time. You gotta tend to your family, and because of that, you might not have the time to handle everything. And I want to say this: when you're doing wholesaling, you're gonna have to acquire the deals. You're gonna have to disposition them, which means sell them. You're gonna have to manage the transactions. You're gonna have to, if you're doing it virtually, like I do it virtually. I try my best not to go to the property if I don't have to. So what I do is I'll pay people in the area to go and take pictures of that property, so I don't have to, because I got a family. I'm not trying to go and drive all the way to Houston. I'm in Louisiana. We got deals in all over Texas, in Florida, and I'm not trying to just drive over there for one house every time I got a house. So I'll pay somebody else to do it instead of me having to do it. But you're gonna have to pay those people. You got to manage those people. Make sure that those pictures that they're getting are good pictures. And that's transaction coordinators. And also, once you get that deal, you're gonna have to build your buyers list. So that's another thing that's time consuming. Getting the deals under contract, calling the sellers, cold calling especially, is time consuming. You gotta have some good skills too. You can't just get on the phone and think somebody's gonna throw their house away. Sometimes they can, sometimes they do. You will get some deals like that, but it's not all the time. So you're gonna have to put some work in. You're gonna have to develop some skills, some negotiation skills, and listening skills in order to be able to get these deals on the contract at a price where you need them to be at in order to sell them. Now, when you're doing this, you want to also be helping people. You don't want to just be doing it to try to take advantage of people. In my opinion, I would hope, I don't want to wish bad on nobody, but if you're doing it to hurt people, I would hope that you don't make any money, so you can give up. But in these situations, in these deals, a lot of time these people don't have capital. They're about to lose their property. I get people sometime, let's see, one instance, I got a lady right now, she has cancer. And she wants to sell the house so she can pay for her cancer treatments. Now, in my mind, I'm not going to go and try to, beat this lady down on the price. If I know that if I can make $3,000 off the house, I'm not going to beat her down and say, look, I can only give you, $20,000 when I know that I can sell it for $40,000, just because I want to make extra money. I'm in it to help people. This lady needs money for her cancer treatments. I don't know how long she got left, but I don't want to, take money out of her pocket and not let her get her treatment. That doesn't make sense to me. To me, that's unethical. And another guy, his son, he has 2 sons that he mentioned to me. One of them got shot, and I believe he made it. I believe he's in the hospital. And his other son, it's an older guy too, and his other son just got shot in the foot. And he wants to sell his house so that he can move out of the area so he don't lose his children. In this situation like that, I'm not trying to talk you down on your price. If your price is good, then we're gonna run with it like that. I don't care if I make $1,000, $2,000, $500. If I can get you out of that situation, because now it's on my mind. Like if I hurt you to where you can't move your children out of there because I want to make some money, and then one of your sons dies, that's some, you don't want to have that on your conscience. But you are put in positions like that where you can help these people. And sometimes I might, if I have to, I'll sell a deal and not make any money off of it. Now, if I have to, in situations like that, you just got to do what you got to do sometimes. And I would rather help somebody out than, not help them and try to be greedy. To me, that's a love of money. I'd never love money like that. So I'm gonna hurt somebody for it. Not anymore. That used to be like that, but that's the old me. Yeah, that's the old me. So, wholesaling, you got acquisitions, you acquire the deals, dispositions, you sell them, transaction coordinators. Another thing you're gonna have to do with getting your people to take the pictures, You're gonna have to create the emails and send them out. And I don't want to deter nobody away from wholesaling because it is profitable. A lot of people are making a lot of money with this. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't beneficial. It's also a good way to get into real estate because once you sell these deals, you're gonna get the capital in to invest. Or you can just come to me and I can get you the money to invest because I can fix your credit, I can get you the down payment, I can get you the loan, and I can probably find you the real estate. And if you get apartments, I have you the property managers too. So from beginning to end, I can get you taken care of. But if you want to do it on your own, wholesaling is a good way to get that seed capital. If you don't have the money already, you can use that money to fix your credit. You can use that money as your down payment if you already have the credit, and you can get your properties like that. Also, another thing, which people look down, investors for some reason look down on wholesalers where they're investing in real estate to make money and leaving a ton of money on the table because there's 100 deals that they don't buy to go and skip and buy two. But what about these other 98 that you didn't buy? Why don't you just sell those and make money off of them? You're in real estate to make money anyway. And me personally, I'm not going to let any lead pass me by. If I can capitalize on it, if I can help somebody out and make money in the process, I'm going to sell it. So to me, everybody in real estate should be wholesaling as well because it's a good strategy. You don't buy everything, and even if you come across good deals that you could buy, sometimes you can't buy. Sometimes you don't have the capital. You can't find the capital, or you ran out of capital, or maybe you got too many deals on the side. Like my guy with the 100 houses, he was fixing on a whole bunch of them, and he likes to do things on his own, so he doesn't want to have a whole crew fixing on his stuff. And because of that, he gets good deals all the time, but he won't buy them because he doesn't have the time to fix up more properties. He's content with what he has. And if he was making, $80,000 a month, a lot of people are content with that, So I can understand it in that situation, but why not sell all of those deals that you get? That's still money coming into you. And if you don't, know the whole strategy of wholesaling, other investors. Just tell them, look, man, you tell that seller, look, I won't purchase it because I have too much on my plate, but I have a friend of mine who might purchase it. And if they do buy it, would you be able to pay me from this? Or tell your guy, look, I got this deal for you. Give me $1,000, $5,000, $20,000, whatever it is, and I'll connect you with this person, and just purchase that deal and give me some money for putting you on that deal. It's just that simple. I will put some paperwork behind it, but because nowadays you can't really trust people. You gotta you can't shake hands like it used to be. It's not like the old days. Everybody's out for themselves. Back to what I was saying. Acquisitions, you find the deals, put them on the contract. Disposition is you're building your buyers list, you sell the deals. Transaction coordinating would be putting the people on the ground, coordinate the whole transaction. Meaning, when you get these deals on the contract, you find a buyer. Once you find a buyer, you'll send the deals to the title company. When you send them to the title company, that's a transaction. The title company is going to schedule with the seller, with the buyer, for a closing, and at the closing is when you're going to get paid. When somebody has to schedule that with the title company, somebody has to manage all of those transactions and stuff like that. Make sure that title companies are on point because sometimes they take a little long. You want to make sure that you're always in communication with them. Hey, what's going on with my title search? Did you get my title search back? Yeah, it sounds like I'm in a hurry because I am. I want to close this deal. You got to do all of those things. Following up is the big one. A lot of people miss out on money because they don't follow up. Following up is where you make the money at. There's people that you talked to 6 months ago that want to sell today, but they don't remember you because you haven't been following up with them. I can't tell you how many deals I've lost. One thing, because I didn't have the proper systems in place. I didn't have a CRM, something that manages my leads. I was writing everything down on paper. And I want to tell you this as a business owner. If you want to have a business, a legitimate, profitable business, you cannot sit down and write everything on paper. Eventually, you'll skip some things. You'll miss some things. You're not getting everything like you're supposed to. You want to have a business bank account. You want to set all your stuff up correctly because all of that money that's coming in and going out, you want to keep a count of all of that. You can't run an effective business. You can't effectively run a business without tracking your numbers. You need to know what you're making. You need to know what you're spending. You need to know what your profit is. You need to know what your losses are. Because why not? I mean, you can't really effectively manage your business if you're not keeping track of those numbers. So, transaction coordinator, follow-up manager, like I was saying, And also leads that you talk to that's don't want to sell, you need someone to follow up with them every now and then, because eventually everybody's going to sell. Eventually, most people don't want to die in their house. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. Some people stay in the house for 10, 15 years. You might have just called them on the 9th year. Next year they want to sell, but you wouldn't know because you don't follow up with them. There's so much money to be made in a follow up. Also, dead leads, people that say, "Look, don't call me no more. I don't want to talk to you no more." When they see a postcard from you, and they're like, "Man, I probably should have never told that dude that. Now I need to sell my house." Then they gonna call you back. So some of those people, a lot of people, especially right now with this pandemic, people think that their situation is gonna get better sometime, and it doesn't. And that's where you can come in and help them. Not take advantage of them, but help them. We don't want to take advantage of people, because what goes around comes around. In my eyes, that's what That's what I think of. So I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm trying to help everybody. So that should be the main points for wholesaling. I'll do another video just talking about how you find your sellers, how you find your buyers, and things like that. It's probably some systems that we use, because most people probably don't know how to find the sellers. All you can do is just ride around in your neighborhood. When you ride around, you'll see houses that's vacant, that's abandoned, broken windows, super tall grass. It's probably an ugly house in a nice neighborhood. You got a tarp on the roof, shingles missing. Trash cans are way in the back of the house, and everybody else's trash can is to the road. Things like that. People don't, no mailbox. People don't see it. People don't pay attention to those things, but that's money right there. And even if you're not wholesaling, if you're not buying, I can make money off of those houses. So I'll pay you to send me those addresses in certain areas. All you got to do is get that address and send it to me. And if that deal closed, if I contact the seller and they want to sell at a good price, if I get the buyer that's willing to buy it for a good price, if we get it to the closing table at the title company, I'm going to pay you the same day that I get paid. I'll pay you. So you don't want to miss out on any leads, especially if you want to. And nowadays, you got to have more than one stream of income. I know I talked about a lot of stuff, but nowadays you want to have more than one stream of income. And my business is right now set up to where I can help anybody make more income. I'm actually about to start hiring. I actually got to hire 7 more people for real estate. So if you're in Houston, Miami, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, Tampa, Orlando, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, you can reach out to me. Lake Charles, for sure, Lake Charles. If you're in any of those areas and you want to make some extra money, I'll definitely pay you. I'll tell you what you need to do. I'll give you the tools to do it, and I'll pay you to find me properties, and I'll sell those properties. And you can potentially get passive income like that too. Like I mentioned, some of those deals that you get, they're not going to be deals that you buy right now. They're going to be leads that you have to follow up with and nurture over time. So some of these deals might close the first month. Some deals might close 3 months from now. Some might close 6 months from now. But you only found those houses that one time. So, those leads are going to stay with you. Even if you work with me for a little while, and then you decide, man, I got too much stuff to do. I don't have time to go do this anymore. Those leads are still for you. You're going to get a random call from me 6 months from now saying, hey, man, I just sent you some money. And you might not even have my number no more, but you're going to get some money from it. For real, you trust me. I'm gonna make sure you get paid. But yeah, that's all I got for you tonight. Like I said, residential real estate is definitely good. One thing I didn't talk about. So with the apartments, 4-unit apartments. Let's say you get that 4-unit, you stay in one, and you rent the other 3 out. After a certain amount of time, you can go and do the same thing to another apartment building. So you'll be in this 4-unit, you'll move out of that one unit that you're in, and move into another 4-unit and stay in 1 unit with the 3.5% down again. So if you're buying $100,000 properties, you're paying $3,500 to get that property, plus some closing costs. So I would say $5,000 altogether. $5,000, $6,000. You should be in an apartment, renting out the rest of them. So now when you move into the other building, you still have this 4-unit that's paying you rent. Now you got 4 tenants in there, and you're staying in this other 4-unit that has 3 more tenants in there. So you got 7 people paying you rent now, and you only paid that 3.5% down 2 times to get in that building. So you might be looking at $10,000. You'll definitely make that. You'll gross that for sure in the first year with those 8 units, as long as you're in the right area. So that's just a couple of little quick tips. Probably wasn't quick, but a couple of little tips that you can do, that you can learn for residential and commercial. A lot of people want to get into it, but a lot of people don't know how to. A lot of people want to have the information, but nobody wants to pay that $10,000-$15,000 to get it. And I understand. I paid a lot of money when I first got started. I paid a lot of money to get in business credit. A lot of people don't have that money though. So when I started wholesaling, I actually started wholesaling off of YouTube. I found my first deal just driving around. Like I said, driving around and finding these houses. My first house was a for sale by owner. The guy just saw, I messed up on that deal so many different ways. But that deal, that guy was a for sale by owner. He wanted to sell, and it just so happened to be a good price because I didn't know how to negotiate. I didn't even have contracts. And I'm gonna talk about this deal. Talk about this on another time. Matter of fact, I might even see if I can get in the guy who I sold this to because he's still buying houses right now. And I don't think at the time he knew that was my first deal, but it was my first deal. He probably did. He might have known, But that's all I got for y'all tonight. Feel free to reach out to me anytime, man. If y'all looking to get into real estate, like I said, I can help. I can fix your credit. I can get you a down payment. I can get you the loan. I can find your property. I can also get the property managers to manage that property for you. So you can be a passive landlord. All you need to do is sign the paperwork. And that's it. My people will manage the whole thing for you. We also got a fix and flip program too. I didn't even talk about that. But we got a fix and flip program where all you have to do, we'll get you the loan. Like I said, if your credit's not good, we'll fix your credit and we'll get you a loan. And we have a team of people on the ground who are actively and constantly flipping houses. Now, what's going to happen is if you approve for it, we're going to put your name. Your name is going to be on that paperwork. You're going to be the actual owner of the house. Nobody else, no liens or anything, because the funding that we're providing is unsecured funding. So we're not using your house as collateral or anything like that. That house is going to be 100% of your name. It's 100% yours. We're just going to do all the work to fix it up. So my guys in the area, they know the area. They've been flipping houses in there for a long time now. And we have the realtors that we always sell the deals with. We know what improvements need to be made. We know what rents are. We know, pretty much once the rehab is getting going, we know how long it's going to take to rehab it. We typically say 3 to 6 months, 3 months being the best, 6 months being the worst case scenario. And after that deal, so in the meantime too, you're going to have access to the property. You can go over there if you want anytime while they're fixing it up. You can sleep over there if you want. I recommend that you don't because they might not have lights, but it's going to be your property. You can do whatever you want. What's up, Chenard? And, once we get into the process of fixing it up, you'll have a say-so in some of the things. Now, like I said, we're the experts in that, so we're gonna make the big decisions, but you can make decisions on because it's your property still. We want you to be involved in it. You can pick the colors of some things. We want to make sure that we have the colors that's most popular in the area though. We can't allow you to come in and say we want the walls to be green. It's not gonna work like that. So we're gonna give you some things that you can make decisions on. But for the most part, we're going to take care of the whole thing because we're the experts in that. We're going to make sure that the property is sold for what it's supposed to sell for. And at the end of that whole process, you're not going to pay anything. But at the end of it, you're going to get at least $20,000 profit. And this is what's so good about it. We're going to get you the loan, but we're also going to we get paid too. Like a hard money lender gets paid 20%. We get paid less than that, but we roll it into the loan. So with hard money, you got to put down that 20% up front. With us, it's on the backside. We actually roll it into the loan. So let's say you get a $100,000 loan, we'll add on our fee to that. So instead of you coming out of pocket, you'll pay. Let's say we get you a loan for $115 instead. So that way you're gonna pay us out of that loan instead of coming out of pocket. Another thing is that all your repair costs is gonna be in that loan too. So you're gonna have your purchase price in that loan. You're gonna have your repair costs in that loan. You're gonna have your monthly payments as well, because those months that it takes to fix that property up, you're gonna have expenses. You might have to have your lights on. You might have to have the water, electricity, and everything on. Somebody's got to pay for that, and that's got to come out of your pocket because it's your property. So, but while we're fixing that up, what's up, man? Trinard, I see you. I don't have my glasses on, bro, so you gotta excuse me. But we're gonna put your mortgage payments in there too. Your carrying costs is what a lot of people don't talk about. They don't factor this into investing in their deals. The carrying cost is how much your property is gonna have to how much you're gonna have to pay on that property while you're fixing it up. Because like I said, you're gonna have bills that you gotta pay. So we roll that into the loan. Your mortgage payments. You got a mortgage on this property now because it's your property. You gotta pay that mortgage. So We're going to put those mortgage payments in the loan for you. So from beginning to end, you're not paying anything out of pocket. You're not paying us because it's in the loan. You're not paying your mortgage because it's in the loan. You're not paying your closing costs. That's in the loan. Your repair costs is in the loan. And at the end of the process, you're still going to get $20,000. At least $20,000. So it's just it's a win-win situation. Like, you don't have to come out of pocket anything. All you need to do is have the credit. And if you don't have it, we can fix your credit for you to get you the funding. Only thing is, we can't provide the income for you. Actually, we can provide the income for you because we can. I'll pay you for referrals. If you send anybody to us that gets funded, I'll pay you 1% of what I get. So if they get $100,000, you get $1,000 just for sending somebody to me. You can't beat that. Just for saying, hey, call this dude. He could probably get you some money. You make $1,000 for that. Think about if you do that 10 times in a month, $10,000. Most people don't make that in like 2-3 months. But you'll make that off of just saying, hey, call this dude. He can help you out. You can't beat that. So we can help you with the income. It's going to take some time because you got to have that. It's going to have to be on paper. You're going to have to pay taxes on that. You're going to have to, let Uncle Sam know that you're making that money. Because if Uncle Sam doesn't know, we can't use that to get you the funding. Uncle Sam has to know about it. He got to have his little crusty fingers in the pot so that you can actually get paid. But that's all I got for y'all, man. The Fix and Flip program. We got a Turo program coming out where, I don't know if you know about Turo, but Turo is where you can get vehicles. I'm gonna tell y'all another thing before I go. I just can't stop. I got too much to talk about. With Turo is a platform where you can rent out cars. Let's say if you tried to rent out a car recently, you'll know Enterprise, Hertz, all those people usually don't have any cars. So this is where you step in. You can go to those places and be like, hey man, I see y'all usually don't have any cars. I have cars. Your tenants, your people that come over here, if you send them to me, I might give you $10, $15, $20, something like that for each person that comes in. Because I have a car that they can rent out and you guys don't. It's supply and demand. When they come to you, you might not be able to help them with your cars, but you can still help them by sending them to somebody else who does have them. Some people might not do that, but some people will. So you get free leads that way. But with Turo, you'll get a vehicle, you'll put it on Turo, and people pay you just like they pay Enterprise, just like they pay Hertz, just like they pay Alamo. They'll pay you to use that car for a certain amount of time. And you'll make money off of that. Now, the one thing that's good about it, you can get luxury vehicles with this. I won't tell you everything, but, you can actually get a luxury vehicle, put it on Turo, not pay for it, because Turo is going to pay your monthly payments and keep the vehicle. Let's say you use it. If Turo can rent it out 6 days out of the month, 4 days out of the month is really what we go for. But if we can rent 6 days out of the month, it'll pay your whole car payment for you. So if you got a Lamborghini, you'll put that on Turo for 6 days out of the whole month, and it's going to pay your mortgage for you. Every day after that, you keep the Lamborghini for yourself and drive it around for free. You can't beat that, So we got private jet tickets coming out. I'm gonna be in these private jets soon. I had nowhere to go. I had too much to do. But we got private jet tickets coming out soon. Private jet tickets usually cost like $5,000 to $8,000. But I got the plug on it. I can get you a private jet ticket for probably $3,500. You can see me in there real soon. What else we got? Turo. I got too much play. We got too much, man. That's why I don't have time. That's why if y'all send me a message and I haven't responded yet, I just, I got so much to do. I haven't been able to respond yet. But I will get to you. Just give me some time. Be patient with me, and I'm definitely gonna take care of you. I don't know who that is on here, but do you have any questions for me? I don't even know how to work these live still. And one more thing. I'm from Louisiana, so if you hear the slang or the accent in my talk, it's because that's where I'm from. I have the right to abuse the language because this is where I'm from. This is how I talk. So if you don't have no questions, I'm gonna head out. I got some other stuff to do. No questions just yet. All right, Chenard. But feel free to reach out to me anytime. Send me a DM, send me a message if you're on Facebook. But like I said, if I have not got to you yet, I know, I'm sorry. I will get to you. I got so many messages on there. Just trying to get the credit in the right place. I got you. I can definitely help you out. And we'll take care of you. Peace.